You ever have one of those nights where you can just feel in your bones that trouble's coming? For me, it was the night my family's farm, my father's legacy, turned into a battleground, all because some stranger in a white SUV with a smile as fake as a plastic flower decided my land was the missing piece in her grand suburban fantasy. She thought she could buy me out, push me off my dirt, and when I told her no, that's when the game started: lies, fake papers, late night trespassing, until finally I got tired of playing defense and decided to fight back. And let me tell you, nobody saw the way it all go down. See, I grew up here in Iowa. I'm Jared Hall, and this land, 120 acres of fields, pasture, woods, means a hell of a lot more than just property lines to me. It's every memory I've got of my dad, the sweat and grit of working the earth and the risk of betting everything on a good crop or a bad storm. Over the years, I bought up every bit of ground I could, made sure it was all buttoned up legal, and I protected it the way some folks guard their last dollar. Maybe that's the National Guard in me, maybe it's just how farm kids are built, but either way, I don't take kindly to people messing with what's mine. So when Karen James showed up, yeah, her actual name was Karen, if you can believe it. I wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet. She drives up all perfect beige slacks, sunglasses bigger than her head binder, full of paperwork. Starts in about community values and how my place is an eyesore for her little HOA project, Springwood Acres. She wanted the eastern slope, said it'd make a nice park for her residents. Called her offer generous. I told her it wasn't for sale, never would be. Then watched her face twist up like she'd bitten into a green persimmon. That's when the real fun began. Next thing I know, she's creeping around in her SUV after dark, taking pictures by the property line. Didn't even bother hiding it, and I could tell right then she was gearing up for something. Sure enough, a couple days later, I'm out checking the grain dryer and a patrol car rolls up, lights off, two officers stepping out like they're here for a showdown. Got a call about illegal hunting, they say. I just laughed, told them I hadn't even fired up my tractor, let alone a shotgun. They look around, find nothing, leave with that look you see when a cop knows he's wasting his time. But it didn't stop. Next week, cops again. Now it's chemical smells drifting over to Springwood Acres. The week after, it's noise complaints. Then it's aggressive behavior. You name it, Karen filed it. Same two officers every time. Sergeant Barrero, tall guy with a smirk, and his partner Del Rey looked like he wished he was anywhere else. Eventually, I just stood on the porch and told them straight up, you tell your friend Karen this is harassment. Next time I'm filing my own complaint. Didn't faze them much, but I could tell they were getting tired of being used too. I started logging everything, dates, times, every fake complaint. Security cameras, phone calls, the works. You want a war, lady? I'll give you one. The 10th time a patrol car crunched up my driveway in a month, I finally drove down to the sheriff's office. Sheriff Tate's an old hand, gray hair, big voice, no patience for nonsense. I dumped a whole file of logs and camera stills on his desk. Look for yourself, I said, and maybe ask your guys why all the calls come from the same number, Karen James. He looked through my folder, not saying much, but his eyes narrowed, and I knew he was seeing what I saw. Didn't take long before things escalated. Karen, or one of her little helpers, started breaking into my property at night, cut the lock on my main gate, drove right up to the fertilizer shed, stole 2 sacks. Left tire tracks right through my corn. I showed the deputy the footage, tall guy in a ball cap, silver pickup. Couldn't catch the plate, but come on, who else was it? By noon that day, a fat envelope arrived in my mailbox, formal investigation notice from the county zoning board. Complaints about chemical runoff, noise, manure storage. It was all HOA garbage, and the woman on the phone at zoning practically told me so. Every report faxed from the same number, which she couldn't confirm, but we both knew was Karen's. So I called up. The county agronomist got a formal statement that my farm was up to code, then stapled it to my growing stack of evidence. That afternoon, sure enough, Barrero and Del Rey rolled up again. I didn't even let them talk, just pointed at the camera above my barn. No machines running after dark, I said. Unless you want to watch 8 hours of moonlight, save yourself the trouble. Barrero's smirk faded a bit, and I could tell the game was changing. And here's where it got wild. A couple days later, at 2 a.m, my security app goes off. 2 figures at my gate, uniforms glinting in the camera, bolt cutters in hand. I grab my boots and my shotgun unloaded, but they didn't know that, and step out. Evening, gentlemen, I call out. You want to explain why you're cutting my gate at 2 a.m.? Barrero tries to play it cool, just here for an inspection, he says. Not without a warrant, you're not. I call dispatch from the next county over, give them the live feed, and within 20 minutes, a cruiser's there, lights flashing. Deputy Ramirez, tough as nails, hauls both officers in for questioning right there on my property. That finally was the breaking point. Next day, official documents land on my porch, fake as monopoly money, forged signatures, all trying to make it look like my land was up for community development review. I call the real zoning officer Lester, and he's furious, never signed a thing. I scan the documents, send them straight to the county prosecutor, who tells me we're way past HOA nonsense. Now we're talking criminal conspiracy. You know what I mean? Soon as word gets out, the press swarms like flies on fresh hay. Farmer claims HOA using police as muscle in land dispute. Karen's name in big, bold print. Her SUV sits near my gate every day just watching. One afternoon, I finally stroll over and say, "You want to come talk, or just taking photos for your scrapbook?" She rolls down her window just enough to hiss, "You have no idea who you're dealing with, Mr. Hall." I smiled. "Lady, if you set foot past my fence, you'll be seeing parks all right, but only from behind bars." Within a week, subpoenas were flying. Karen Barrero and Delray formally under investigation. I get called in for a pre-trial hearing, lawyer at my side. The judge is sharp, not buying a second of Karen's "I was just protecting the community" act. My lawyer lays out every fake complaint, every call, every bit of forged paperwork. Judge Rollins isn't having it, points right at Karen and says, "This isn't caution, this is fraud." Barrero and Delray have no answer when the judge asks why they were at my gate in the middle of the night with no warrant. The trial didn't drag. One of Karen's own HOA buddies flips on her, admits she pressured them to lie. Judge rules quick guilty on all counts. Karen's face goes white as limestone when she hears 9 years in state prison, no parole for the first 3, and $120,000 restitution. Barrero stripped of his rank, 6 years in federal prison. Delray gets probation and banned from law enforcement forever. The headlines roll in, "Farmer stands his ground, HOA Queen Falls." Even the locals who used to glare when I drove past now tip their hats. Springwood Acres collapses without its queen bee. HOA dissolves legal fees. Eat up what's left of their funds, and the houses sit there all shine and no soul. I use the restitution money to lock the place down tight. New gates, cameras, security patrols. And one day, standing on the slope, Karen wanted so bad I look out over my fields, wind in the corn, and realize for the first time in months it's quiet. No police lights, no pounding at the gate, just the land, the sky, and the promise that no one's ever going to push me off this ground again. Last thing I did was hang a new sign on my gate: "Private property, no trespassing. If you're here because Karen told you to turn around now." It started as a joke, but folks took the hint. Maybe you think I went too far. Maybe you think Karen got what she deserved. Either way, tell me, where do you draw the line between standing your ground and letting the bullies win? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be right here where I belong.